The Mistlands can feel impossible, and that's okay. You're not alone. In this guide, I'll help you survive the fog, fight the bugs, gather what you need, and defeat the Queen. So you can actually enjoy it. And at the end, I'll also share my top survival tips from hundreds of hours here. Things I wish I'd known when I started. Let's go! The Queen awaits. Before you go, you probably know the usual stuff to bring when entering a new biomes, so here are the Mistlands specific essentials. Black metal axe, needed for the new wood type. A wisp blight, optional if you're a speedrunner or a mad lad, but highly recommended. It clears a small radius of mist, making exploration far less painful. Potions. Ratatosk is great for speed. Later, Lightfoot becomes an option once you've unlocked it by hunting hares. For armor, my usually go-to is Fenris gear for mobility. And keep a root harness in your inventory because it offers pierce resistance and can save you in tight combat situations like dungeons or large enemy packs. You prefer tanking? Sure, go heavy, but it'll make the Mistlands movements tougher. For weapons, bring whatever you're comfortable with. Personally, I love my black metal sword, a spear for reach and some crowd control. For example, a demolisher, add gears, ooze bombs or bile bombs. But here's one weapon that really shines here. The Frostner. His pushback, slowing and frost damage effects can be game changers. And you need a bow, even if you're usually not a bow user. You want frost or fire arrows for enemies and wood arrows for the hares. Forsaken power. Light armor? I go bone mass for safety since I'm not the most confident fighter. You are confident? Try Eikthyr for stamina and mobility, or Gjalls power for elemental damage. And a special mention here. Swing by Haldor before heading into the Mistlands. He now sells eggs. At first glance, the recipe offers 32 health and 10 stamina. Meh. But keep them warm and they hatch into chickens. Just buy 2 for 4k and start your feathered empire. Chickens provide meat, feathers and more eggs. Build a proper hen house with walls and a roof to protect them from flying enemies. You want to farm? Zerga's designs are efficient and easy. I link them below. Your hens will upgrade your food game later on. Part 2. The environment. What you can't see might kill you. You found a dark cloud and Mistlands appeared. It's time to go in. But first, portals. Set up a safety portal nearby. Bring a second unnamed one for quick escapes. If you're injured, night falls, or you just need a break. Is your Wisp Blight equipped? Unlike every other biome, the visibility here is bad right away. I suggest moving slowly, trusting your ears more than your eyes. The Wisp will reveal a small area ahead of you, but if you are going too fast, you might run into something unprepared. The terrain here is uneven and often steep. Use cliffs for an overview, but most points of interest are at ground level. Start by chopping an Yggdrasil shoot for wood. This lets you craft the black metal pickaxe, which you will need to gather other resources here. And train sniping hares, but don't chase them. Use your map. This helps exploring thoroughly so you don't miss anything important and also reveals mist-free zones as very dark patches on the map. But most importantly, listen. Your enemies make noises. This can be the advantage you need. No matter how careful you are meeting your first enemy soon enough. Part 3. Mistlands enemies. Is this a bug? So let's break down your soon-to-be nightmare. Seekers. They fly, they swarm, and their attacks are fast and sometimes unpredictable. They are resistant to physical and immune to spirit damage, but the Frostner, Poison, Frost or Fire arrows paired with the Draugr Fang are effective. If you time your blocks well, they go down quickly when staggered. Add gears, bombs or the Demolisher can help with groups. Usually they go down fast if isolated. Just don't get cornered. Seeker soldiers. You'll hear their war cry first. They are AoE slam herds, so don't hang around in it. They are heavily armored, but luckily have a weak spot. It is that pink part on their back. Use frost or fire arrows and terrain to your advantage, since they are not good at climbing. In melee, try to block so they go down quicker, and when they do their AoE, move quickly and catch them from behind. A little extra tip. 1 and 2 star versions of Seekers are very common down here. Wearing light armor makes you faster but also squishier. Going for ranged combat is the safest option here. The Gjalls. This one announces himself from afar, the strange sound he makes pointing you toward meeting your first Gjall. It sure looks horrifying, but it isn't too bad if you have fire resistance with barley wine, your Fenris armor or Yagluth's power. Aim for their belly from below and take cover behind cliffs or structures like ancient armor or ancient weapons. Then move, shoot and repeat. They spit out fire which explodes when landing. It is also possible to block that while taking moderate damage instead of hiding. Their second attack is dropping ticks. You don't need to fight them, just move away since they are not very good in chasing you. Ticks. Annoying little things that latch onto you and drain your health. Ugh. They can be blocked or killed mid-air. If you've got one on you, dodge rolling gets rid of them. Using ooze bombs or the demolisher for groups works great, especially when there are plenty. They go down quickly, but don't underestimate them. A 2-star variant can kill you faster than you can say Mistlands. Side fact: ticks on the ground without a Gjall nearby indicate that there's probably a skull full of soft tissue nearby. Make sure to explore the area. Secret brood, mostly in dungeons. Not dangerous unless you ignore them. Dwergers. They are friendly until you provoke them by attacking them first, looting or destroying their stuff when guarded by a ward. They are very helpful comrades to turn to when in trouble. You'll find their buildings, towers, ports or camps all over the Mistlands. Make sure to mark those on your map since you can retreat there and they will fight the enemies you bring with you. In case for whatever reason you decide to fight them, here's what to be aware of. You'll encounter 3 types: rogues, crossbow, aka ranged units and different types of mages. The mages are the most dangerous and groups with healers. Try using sneak attacks to get rid of some quickly and ranged attack to not get overwhelmed in combat. And using your chosen Forsaken power once you engage them is a very good idea. That said, I usually avoid fighting them. They are far more useful alive and there are ways to get what you need, which I'll cover later in the resources section. Hares. They are skittish. Snipe them if you can, especially for great food, the light food meat and materials for armor. Part 4. Dungeons. The Infested Mines. You'll find them by scouting the Mistlands thoroughly. They look like this. Or this. I hope if you follow my tips and take your time exploring, you'll find enough for everything you need. How to approach them. They are guarded by multiple seekers. Take those out first. Use any of the tactics described before. Place your travel portal outside just in case. Once inside, here are some quick tips. Watch out for the back vizier revealing the queen's location. I'm crossing fingers you'll find one quickly. Sometimes there are holes in the ground. Make sure not to fall into them accidentally. Be systematic clearing the area. Open spaces without doors or barriers first. After that, tackle closed areas. Bile and ooze bombs work through doors and barriers without damaging them. A great way to clear out some enemies in advance. New resources you'll find inside the dungeons are black cores for the new crafting stations and the Sealbreaker fragments to craft the Sealbreaker with 9 of them in order to summon the queen. You can expect large amounts of seekers, seeker broods, some seeker soldiers and a lot of ticks inside. Use the tactics you already know against them. You will also find large amounts of royal jelly close to the seeker brood spawns. You'll want to stock up on this for the new healing meat as well as mage food. Look out for hidden doors. These places often contain a few of the cores you want as well as treasures. And the Bog Witch is an expensive place, so take what you can get. My best tip for the dungeons is simple. Just move carefully, be thorough and methodical to not miss anything important, and retreat if necessary. Part 5. Resources. The juicy brain stuff. I'm not going to cover every single one of them, only those very important and harder to get ones. And have added an extra section for everything magic related. Yes, magic is an additional fighting style added in the Mistlands. We already covered eggs and Yggdrasil wood. Then there is soft tissue. It drops from dwergers, can be found in dwerger crates, but the most effective way to gather it is from inside skulls. Yes, you need brain tissue from those ancient giants which are scattered throughout the Mistlands. Those also can be found sometimes in the Dwarga excavation camps. As mentioned, suddenly appearing ticks often indicate a skull nearby. Ancient armor and weapons. You can mine those for copper, tin and iron scraps. No need to ever return into earlier biomes for ores. Also mentioned before, but important enough to list them here again. Black cores for the crafting stations, sealbreaker fragments, the key to fighting the queen, and a queen's Vegvisir to reveal her location on the map. Iter, magic and how to get it. You need Zap that you can drain from the ancient roots in the Mistlands. But first you need to gather a Dwarga extractor. Here's how to get it and everything else you want from the Dwargas, including their homes, without having to fight them. Method 1. Use your enemies. Seekers, Seeker soldiers and Gjalls ordered by effectiveness. Take the fight to the camps and let them do the dirty work for you. Once either all Dwargas are dead or the ward has been destroyed, you safely can destroy the Dwarga crate which contains the Dwarga extractor you need. Method 2. Craft a cart nearby, take it into the camp and destroy the ward by bumping the cart into it repeatedly. For some strange reason, this act does not alarm them, and once the ward is destroyed, taking their stuff afterward won't aggro them. Once you have one and gathered your first Zap, build an Iter refinery and feed it soft tissue and sap. Side note, the Iter produce damages the environment, so make sure to cover your refinery with either black marble or iron. The Iter enables you to build a Galdir table, and this lets you craft magic items. Craft at least the feather cape since it lets you glide, and this makes exploring much easier. If you want to get into magic, there are 4 weapons as well as an armor set you can craft as well. The Staff of Protection, blood magic, uses Iter and a potion of your health. Casts a powerful bubble around you and your allies that protects you from any harm as long as it lasts. The Staff of Embers, elemental magic, uses Iter, casts fireballs at your enemies that do fire and blunt damage. Not only is this very powerful, but it also enables you to finally farm hairs effectively. Staff of Frost, elemental magic, uses Iter, casts a rapid fire of frost shards in front of you. Not very accurate, especially long distance, but very effective to keep closer enemies at bay. The Dead Razor, blood magic, uses Iter and some of your health. Summon skeletons as your minions. They will attack everything you engage with, not strong alone, but when shielded by your Staff of Protection, they are great distractions while you figure out your tactics. If you want to try out magic, I wouldn't start in the Mistlands right away. Try to train somewhere safe while farming older resources you still need. You can also build a training farm. There are many videos out there showing how to do that. I leave a link for one in the description. Magic has its own playstyle to discover, and you may want to get used to it first instead of wondering why you suddenly die so fast. But you don't need to skill very high to make it effective in the Mistlands. Take note that it requires a lot of time to get your skills up. Part 6. The Queen fight. The Queen has brought many Vikings to despair, not because they can't fight, but because they don't know the key tactics I'm about to show you. But first, here's how to find her. You may be lucky enough to stumble across her lair randomly. Here's what it looks like. Otherwise, Vegvisirs in the Infested mines reveal her location on your map. The Queen is the first boss you'll fight in a dungeon environment, the Infested Citadel. I'll show you 3 ways to beat her, but first, there are a few things you need to know no matter how you approach the fight. Crucial things to be aware of. Her attacks have massive knockback, making blocking pretty ineffective. Dodging is much safer in melee. She spits projectiles that deal both physical and poison damage, so poison resistance meat is essential here. Sometimes she burrows and reappears elsewhere, even on another floor, so you'll need to keep up tracking her. In her later phase, she adds a charge attack, dodge it or get flattened. The dungeon has 3 floors and she can emerge anywhere. Memorize the layout, rely on your wisp light and ears to find her quickly, and shoot her from range when she flees to stop her healing. Adds Seeker broods and seekers, the Queen calls them constantly, making the fight chaotic. Use bombs or magic to clear them out as quickly and effective as possible. Using an gear, especially the new Himmenethel, also works, but I found it uses a lot of stamina, so be careful. Before you enter, don't go in without your feather cape and Wistblight. Crucial if you need to chase her or descend floors quickly without breaking your neck. Place a portal outside, just in case. Get rested and bring plenty of meats and potion depending on your chosen tactic. And don't forget poison resistance, plus your weapons and armor of choice. The entrance area, as shown here, is a safe spot. The queen can't reach you here, but adds will. If needed, step outside to recover and regroup. The fight can take a while, especially the first time. Watch your rested buff and weapon durability. Step out to refresh or repair if needed. I recommend setting up workbenches and stashing spare materials in the small alcove near the dungeon entrance. And here are 3 ways to beat her. Tactic 1. Melee and bombs. For the hardcore Viking, dodge her attacks, bomb the adds, and retreat to the entrance or outside if you need to recover. If she retreats deep into the mist, follow her and shoot her with arrows to stop her healing. It takes time to learn her patterns, but you can absolutely do it if you stay calm. Tactic 2. Magic. Rule number 1. Always keep your bubble up, otherwise you are probably dead in a blink of an eye. Burn her down with the Staff of Embers and use the Staff of Frost on adds or on the queen if she's close enough. Watch your iter. It runs out faster than you'd like. Retreat to recover is needed and use the area at the entrance for reshielding and dodging her spit and charge attacks. Some guides recommend summoning skeletons with the Dead Razor as distractions, but in my experience they block you, die quickly and waste iter to reshield them. That is better spent on offense. Still, it is an option if you're patient and prefer the distraction they offer. Tactic 3. The cheesy way. If you don't want to deal too much with all the chaos, totally fair. Remember, the entrance is a safe space. The queen can't reach you there. So staying there and hit her with the demolisher through the walls whenever she comes close is also an option. Still, when she wanders off, you'll have to lure her back and repeat. Watch out for the adds. Make sure you finish them quickly. You can even place a fire nearby for regeneration, which also works for the other tactics. But sometimes it gets destroyed by your own attacks or approaching enemies. Rematch. If you want to fight her again, there's an altar on top of the dungeon where you can sacrifice 3 Seeker Soldier trophies to summon her. Final tips. Top 5 survival moves. And before we wrap up, here are a few extra survival moves that help me. Little things that can make a big difference in the Mistlands. 5. Mark everything. Routes, camps, skulls. You will need them later. Number 4. Use Seeker Soldiers. Their AoE smashes help farm black marble and wood. Number 3. Use Dwarga camps as shelters or bases, once cleared. Number 2. The Root Harness. Trust me, it saves lives, even with light armor. One of the most powerful armor pieces in the game. And number 1. This might not be the most heroic one, but run! Run when you feel overwhelmed, portal out and get back when you're ready. There's no shame in staying alive. So those are my personal survival habits. Nothing fancy, but they've kept me alive more times than I can count. Did I win your heart for the Mistlands? Did this guide help you survive it? Then I'll see you in the Ashlands guide, the fiery finale of this series. And if not, well, at least you made it this far.